Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Uncensored Solely, and I am your host, Solely. So, I know I've been gone for a little while. Apologies. I have been hella busy. I got through probably one of the worst jobs I ever had in my life. I was there for a week of training, and then I was there for 2 days and realized it was probably going to do more damage to my mental health than me and my bank account if I just didn't have a job. So I got rid of that instantly, and luckily, after the fifth time applying, got a job at the hospital I have been trying to land since I moved here to California months ago. And not only did I get a job at that hospital that I wanted, I got it in the department that I wanted. So let's go. But on top of all of that, I went to the world's largest horror convention. I'll say it again. I went to the world's largest horror convention, and it was so much fun. Midsummer Scream, guys, if you have not heard of it, it is the coolest thing I have to date been to horror-wise. If you guys are a fan of Halloween, if you guys are a fan of purchasing things that are like kind of spooky and weird, from like the oddity shops all the way down to even if you have tiny interest in like the weird shit that you find at like Zoomies and Hot Topic, this is the place for you because it is that times like a bajillion. I had so much freaking fun, you guys. Luckily for me, too, this was only like 30 minutes away from where I live, and next year they're moving even closer. So I will never miss a Midsummer Scream from here on out. God willing. Hey, but a little recap of that. The whole weekend, it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event. Friday, my group and I just went and picked up our wristbands. Saturday, we kind of walked around and looked at all the shops. And Sunday, we looked at some shops and went to some of the little haunted, like, I don't even know if you call them, like, haunted houses. I guess you could. They had, like, actual full-blown, now that I think about it, houses in this convention center. And there was, like, 6 of them. They had, I think they're called slides or sliders. Not the ones you eat, but, like, the people who, like, go running by and slide on the floor. So sorry if I'm botching that. But they had shows for them. They had panels with, like, famous people like Matt Lillard from the Scream movies, other Scream cast members. They had directors. They had authors. They had podcasters. Like, all these crazy people there. Now, granted, you did have to pay if you wanted to, like, meet those people and get a picture with them. I decided to save my money for, some of the more shopping stuff, but I got books, I got comic books, I got earrings, t-shirts, tank tops. What else did I get? Plushies. Oh my gosh, I know I'm forgetting stuff. I got lots of things. Movies. But it was so much fun. But it was also so exhausting. The whole weekend itself was like a blur. Every day we'd get up. My friend who is here, if you guys want to look into her, she's tagged on my Instagram and my TikTok reels and pages. Majestic Face, she did the cosplay makeup for myself and her. Looked amazing. I went as Billy from the Saw movies one day, and then she went as like a gender bent Jack Skellington. And then Sunday, we were way too sore from wearing heels and having like fishnets and all of that on from Saturday. So we just kind of like dumbed it down, did a little fake blood, some vampire fangs, called it a day. But it was overall such an experience. Panels. I went to a couple panels too on Sunday because again, we were pretty doggone beat from walking around and doing all the shopping we did on Saturday. I don't know if you guys have ever looked into some of like the biggest haunted attractions in the country, but one of them that's been on my list for years and now I'm conveniently living next to is the Queen Mary. If you guys haven't looked into the Queen Mary, I encourage you to go travel down that like lore rabbit hole. I'm not even going to try to get into it because I won't do it justice. But I am so excited that I got to sit on a panel where I got to learn a little bit more about some of the fun attractions they're going to be doing for Halloween this year. So that's on my list as well. There's also let me make sure I'm reading this right. I think it's Halloween Horror Nights. Yeah, over at Universal. They had a panel for that as well. It's just going to be great. It's going to be a great year for Halloween. It's going to be a great year for horror. It's already been a great year for horror, but there's so much more to come. I can't wait. But with that said, it has taken so much planning to get to do these things. And when I talk about some of this with some of my friends, they're like, "Holy crap, how are you getting to all these things? Like, where do you have the time?" And I'm like, "I don't. I have to plan it." Like this Midsummer Scream, I started planning back in January or February when tickets went on sale. And then it's just kind of like each week or month, I like chip away at it and like add a little bit more of like the, crossing the T's, dotting the I's to the plans. And then by the time I get to it, it runs generally smoothly, I'd like to think. But yeah, lots of planning, guys. So that's what I want to talk about with you today, planning. Because there's so many fun events, and I'm sure you guys have them too, right? Like you've got birthdays coming up, weddings coming up, right? Vacation destinations, attractions, and not all of those are going to be within like a 10-15 minute driving distance where you can just like flip a switch and head on over and enjoy it and then get back home, and it's kind of like just a blimp in your day, right? These things take planning. But planning can get overwhelming. So we're going to break it down. We're going to go through how and there's tons of different ways, but this is how I would encourage you guys and what's worked for me, at least for planning. So the first thing, right? I would say a lot of people get tripped up on thinking like, oh, new year, new me. This is when I do all of my New Year's resolutions, all of my plans for the year. And that's great if that's when you want to start. But I don't know about you, the world doesn't just lay out to me everything that I want to do for a whole year on January 1st. There are different raves that are coming up and festivals that I want to go to. There's conventions that I want to see. There's Comic-Con. There's BlizzCon that my boyfriend and I were thinking about going to, but we didn't really get the chance to plan ahead of time. I didn't think about these things. We had like moving and other stuff going on. All right, so you get these events, and I would say your first move is don't wait for, that new year, new me resolution. Don't wait for like your birthday and it's like, oh, it's a new aged me. I'm going to start doing all these things I wanted to do. When events come up, if they're far enough out, start planning then. Let's say there's a concert that you want to go to. It's for a band or an artist that you've always wanted to see, and you kind of you've probably discouraged yourself in the past saying like, oh, it's too expensive. Oh, I don't have time to like figure out, the right outfit, or I'd have to go out and buy some new stuff for it, or I don't really know how I would, get there if it's out of state or if it's, just even out of the same zip code as you. You kind of chip away, I'm sure, negatively, like right off the rip, like I can't afford it, or I can't do this, or I can't. Stop saying can't. You can. We're going to start planning it though, okay? So pick an event. Just start with that. Pick an event. Let's start with something easy too, something that's like months in advance that you want to do, okay? Now, after we pick an event, good for you, get excited. This is great. We should be thrilled that we're going to be doing something fucking fun for once, right? You earned it. You work hard. You take care of your kids. You go to, all the extracurriculars and everything that your friends need you to be there to support them for. You need to do this for yourself now, okay? So give yourself a little pat on the back. You pick something fun, and we're going to do it. After you pick that event, I want you to lock in those dates. We all have responsibilities. I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom. I don't care if you have a full-time job and you're the head of the household, you're the breadwinner. Everybody has responsibilities that they probably have to like make sure they're clear of, or make sure that those people, those things are taken care of while you're going to be absent, whether it's for a day or a week, right? So make sure you have a sitter for the kids. Make sure you have the time off that you can take from work if it's going to be a couple days, okay? So that's going to be your step 2. So step 1, we picked an event, pat ourselves on the back. Step 2, we're going to make sure that we're, free of any responsibilities, or that those responsibilities are taken care of while we're away on our fun trip. See, we're starting to get it together. We're planning. Things are coming together. Now, after we pick a date, after we make sure we're free of any plans, we're going to make sure that we look into transportation. That's my next biggest thing that I encourage people with, right? All right, so transportation, right? How are we getting there, right? Do you need to take a bus? All right, start looking into bus tickets. Make sure you start saving the money and squirreling away for that, okay? I will say, if you're going to be taking a bus, a train, especially flying, the sooner you can get them, the better. And here's a little tip. If you guys haven't used Zip, Z-I-P, Zip is amazing for traveling. If you don't have the credit like me, I didn't have the credit for quite a while to get a credit card. I was working on reestablishing myself, and I didn't really feel like paying some of the, I don't know, like I don't know what they're even called, but the money that sometimes you have to put down to get a credit card because your credit isn't exactly the greatest. Zip is awesome. They don't really look into your credit. It's kind of like you pay them back when you're supposed to, or make the payments when they set the payments up. And if you don't, you just don't get to use it anymore. If you need a bus pass, especially flying, it'll break it into payments for you. So Zip. Use Zip for traveling. I highly encourage it. All right, now we picked an event. Now we made sure that we were free of responsibilities when we're gone for that event. Now we've looked into transportation and we're starting to plan accordingly. Okay, so we got the place. We know how we're getting there. I don't want you to think about anything else about that trip. Don't overwhelm yourself with the tiny little details just yet, okay? I want you to focus on just getting there. Enjoy the fact that you're just going to be there. If there's certain things that you're thrilled about, yeah, obviously that's an easy, like, check off. We're going to be there. We're going to do that. We're going to be at this show. I'm going to make sure I'm at this set. We're going to be at this convention. I'm going to make sure I get to this booth because I see them somewhere else and I really enjoy their work. I really enjoy their craft, etc. Don't get too into the weeds about it just yet, or you're going to overwhelm yourself and it's going to become a stressor. For lots of friends I see do that all the time. They get hung up on the, okay, well, we need to make sure that we're at this spot at this time and at this spot at this time. And if we leave exactly at this, but if we don't, and it's like, dude, chill. Like, this is supposed to be a fun ass experience. Don't overthink it, right? Now, something that can be a stressor and typically is, I mean, let's face it, it's 2026. Everybody's fucking poor, right? Like, we're all poor to an extent. I don't care who you are. Everybody's got money issues to some degree. So the money part. This is when I said it gets a little stressful, but deep breath. You've got this. Money is a huge stressor for a lot of people, but we're going to break it down, okay? Now, if you're going to be in an event, let's say you're going for 5 days. That's a day to travel there, a day to travel back, 3 days there. I want you to break down each day. How much money do you think that you want for each day while you're out there? And then start saving towards that. You know, if your trip's in 4 months, if you get paid bi-weekly, that's 2 paychecks a month, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 paychecks. How much from each 8 paychecks do you need to save to have $200 a day? So you can go out shopping, have some food at a decent restaurant, do like something little for yourself, right? Figure it out. Figure out how much you need to squirrel away from each paycheck. I guarantee it's not as much as you think it's going to be either. Now you've got the place. Now we're free of responsibilities. Now we know how we're getting there. We're not going to overthink the tiny details just yet because we're not there yet. We got to focus on the big picture stuff. Now we know how much money we need to squirrel away and we have a goal we're working towards, okay? After you looked into that, my final thing for you is just to tell you congratulations. You played at an event. Guys, it's that simple. People think this is such a crazy thing. And yes, sometimes stuff doesn't go like that smoothly. Like, well, Sully, it's not that so. I get it. All right. I know it's not that fucking simple. It's easier said than done. I'm not naive here. I've planned more than enough events to understand some shit just springs on you last second. Never fails. The flight gets canceled or rerouted. You know, a sitter that called off on you last second or is giving you shit and grief the whole time that you're over there. It's fine. That's life, dude. All right, just because we're on trips and vacation doesn't mean that everything starts flipping. The universe doesn't just like invert itself into this like pleasant, no BS, no drama space. This is still the world we live in. You're just enjoying some of the nicer parts of it. The important thing is that you have taken some time for yourself. You've taken some time to carve out in this life for you to enjoy your life. And I know that sounds like such a crazy concept to some people, and because some of us get caught up, right? Like I myself am guilty of it too. When I was in the fire service, like that was me. That's who I was. I didn't have things for myself because that was like my fun place. And that's great. It's great to live your career, but it, in my opinion, shouldn't be who you are. Like you should have other interests, other things that make you happy outside of work, right? Because eventually we all have to stop working. Whether it's, you know, it's time to retire, our body gave out on us, we can't do that job anymore. Maybe our mind goes, all these different things. But like, you need to have stuff for yourself, friend. You need to take care of yourself too. I know that can be harder for some of us than others, but I strongly, strongly encourage you to start doing that. Now, one other thing I'm going to press for you guys. having the big events is great and all, and it's nice, but do you see how we've been talking about, like, doing this shit, like, months out? All right, well, what about, like, the months in between? Are we just supposed to sit there with our thumbs up our ass at home, saving money, squirreling away for, like, this one big event that we do through the whole year? Or maybe we do 2 of them, and then what? That's it? So 2 times each year we have fun? Fuck no. I would encourage you guys to follow this method somebody taught me. Try to find little stuff in between, right? Like, find a small show to go to, find a great pop-up that you know that's going to be in town. Treat yourself. Take every 6 to 8 weeks of hard work, reward yourself, right? Every month and a half to 2 months, do something good for yourself. Whether that's like a fun weekend out for you, whether that's booking like that really nice spa treatment that you know you can't afford on a weekly basis, even though we would really fucking like it because we're old and our bodies hurt and we can't do this shit forever. But get that stuff for yourself every now and again. Treat yourself a little bit along the way. And then have the big stuff, right? It's balance. That's what I'm told. So find the happy medium. And planning becomes a lot easier, you guys. Like I said, this kind of stuff I've been doing for a while now, and so I don't really think about it too much. I have a system for, like, you know, who I fly out of, and who I fly into, who I don't fly into, and who I do fly into. Ubers and Lyfts I even use, the places that I like to go, the times of the year that I like to travel, and times of the year I don't like to travel, where I like to live certain seasons of the year, where I don't like to live. So the more you get into it, the easier it becomes, and then the more that you get to experience, right? But we never know unless we try. Don't also wait for other people, right? Don't wait for other people to, like, hold your hand and walk you through the process. Don't wait for other people to be a part of the things that you want to be a part of and going out and doing. Sometimes you just gotta fucking suck it up and get out there and try it on your own. Maybe it's scary, maybe it's a little intimidating, but at least you can say you gave it a try. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this challenge. Before this week is up, because I think it is, I think it's Monday, so I'll probably have this out tomorrow. I want you guys to pick something. Pick one big thing, and I don't care if it's for a year from now or a few months from now. One big thing that you want to set as a goal. And then I want you guys to pick 2 to 3 smaller things for the remainder of this year, okay? And I don't care how small they are. Like, I mean it, like, I've really always wanted to go eat at this one restaurant, but, like, I have to make sure, like, you know, the kids are taken care of, or, you know, somebody is going to be able to let my dogs out because it's a couple hours away. Plan it, and then start making it a reality. I'm so excited to hear and see about the things that you guys get to do, and hopefully this helped you out. Until next time, guys, thanks for keeping it real. Thanks for keeping it uncensored. I'll see you in the next episode.